backseat, driver.
There is something important that Bond can teach us about health in that clip, but I also want to look at his running technique, his breathing patterns, even his screen time.
You finished?
Yes.
Good.
As well as his diet, whilst also flagging some bad habits to avoid. And a quick copyright disclaimer. These clips are of course copyright material that I am using within the remit of fair use for health education purposes. I am a practicing medical doctor, if you can believe that. So let's start with some positives.
Bond,
What?
get on the train.
Running is secondary only to walking in essential human movement, and it's great for your health and also the health of your joints, but it is important to have good technique. In my opinion, the most fundamental part to get right is an upright posture. Many people stoop over when running, which tends to mean they strike their heel into the ground with a straight leg, transmitting that impact force up through their foot, knee, and hip. Bond, on the other hand, has a good upright posture. If you also focus on your foot hitting directly underneath your upright body, this often naturally results in a foot strike where the ball of your foot impacts the ground first, quickly spreading to the whole of your foot rather than heel striking or landing on tippy toes. Not only will that be healthy and feel good, it will also look good, adding to those Bond aesthetics. There is another fundamental habit that helps to add to those Bond aesthetics, and that is nasal breathing, with Bond keeping his mouth shut in most situations. Bond is often happy to keep breathing through his nose even during exercise. He really is making sure to habitualize nasal breathing, and that is going to give him a plethora of health benefits, which I've covered in previous videos linked in the description. So be sure to keep your mouth shut when possible to improve your health and your looks. And of course, Bond is getting loads of regular outdoor activity throughout the whole day. That's definitely something to try to replicate. That goes hand in hand with minimal screen time. Really hard to find examples of Bond staring at a screen. That's helped him guard against short-sightedness, something that most of the world is destined for. Bad guys a bit more screen focused, you'll note.
I find a computer indispensable. Oh.
We all need to reduce our screen time. That being said, you may want to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and rewatch the video a few times if that makes any sense to you. Moving on.
Hang on, James.
The thought had occurred to me.
This is something that Bond has perfected. I'll call it the adversity banter mindset. Now, when people are going through difficult, traumatic situations, talking therapy and talking about the problem can be a really helpful tool. And certainly making light of things or joking about things in certain situations is going to be completely inappropriate. However, in many other situations, relentlessly talking over and over again about all our problems and why life is so hard, even though it's never been easier, is probably having a bad effect on many people's mental health. So there is some sort of balance here, but I think in the modern world we have tipped a bit too far into focusing on the negatives, and maybe a bit more laughter and, like Bond, a bit more banter in the face of adversity perhaps could help us out. Also, being able to move quickly from a stressed fight or flight state into a relaxed rest and digest mode is a really good skill to have. Bond is certainly very good at this.
I know a great restaurant in Karachi. They can just make dinner.
And on the topic of food, Bond has some pretty good choices.
I have the grilled sole. And for madam.
I'm sure he must have checked that that was wild caught fish. I don't think Bond's going to put up with battery farmed fish. In the UK, that means avoiding Scottish salmon. If you think wild salmon is too expensive, then you're just going to have to toughen up and have some mackerel instead. But for Bond's favourite food, another high quality source of animal protein and a very good choice, eggs.
Et voila. Quiche de cabinet.
Sounds interesting. What is it?
An omelette.
And I hope he got his eggs from pasture-raised chickens who are able to forage outdoors for their natural diet. Chickens are lovely animals and we do not need to subject them to battery farming environments. Right, now for some negatives, and let's go back to Bond's movement. If you want to walk and run in a way that promotes good joint health, you will not be wanting to wear the sort of shoes that Bond is wearing in this clip. Just look at the shape of these shoes. That is not the shape of a human foot. This sort of footwear crushes the toes together and can lead to bunions and other problems of the great toe and other foot conditions like plantar fasciitis. What you want is a shoe with a wide toe box that does not in any way push your toes together. It should also be zero drop, meaning your heel is at the same level as your toes, just like your foot when you are barefoot. If you want more detailed information on walking, running and footwear, let me know in the comments. What on earth is he doing peeling an apple? I'm not sure if this is some sort of misguided attempt to reduce residual pesticide exposure on this perhaps non-organic apple. I'm not sure if Bond would care about that, but if he does, he can certainly afford organic. He's cutting away fibre and micronutrients, but if nothing else, he's just wasting half the apple. I really don't understand this at all. I'm going to have to guess the context, but this looks like when you suddenly realise you're up way too late, bathed in artificial light, been drinking too much alcohol. This is not going to help your energy levels for the next day's mission. And here it seems like Bond is learning the hard way that modern health trends, such as using electrolytes, are not a quick fix or a substitute for getting the basic healthy lifestyle patterns in place. All in all though, Bond displays lots of good healthy habits. Lots of physical activity, minimal screen time, a pretty good diet, and a fantastic ability to mitigate stress. But I'd be interested to hear what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and stay safe.